Welcome back to my channel, guys. I'm Clarence, and this is going to be the second episode of my format Learning from the Masters. And in this specific video we are going to keep going, working and understanding the scene animated by Andrew, let's say his name correctly, Andrew Chesworth in Klaus. So in the first part of the first episode, we animated and we tried to understand how he animated this part. But to complete at least to me a full range of movements, I think we are going to finish the clip until frame 62. At least we will try to understand. As you can see, there are a lot of acting movements. This is the thing that interests me the most. There is not a big movement change, but I want to see how he decides to work on the face features. Okay, let's see. We are here, and I want to write our timeline. So as he wrote here, we have our timeline here from 41, frame 41. Where are we? We are at 42, so we can, let's go at 41. Yes. Now until 52, these are the key poses. Then he decided to make the breakdown poses at 46, and then he will add more frames in between those. But now, as for now, let's draw. We have frame 41. Let's see at 52 how is our character. Let's draw him. Let's take our blue, light blue, and let's see. I'm not gonna repeat the process of trying to understand the shapes and intercalating them to see how it's wrong, how we did that, because we got it. Now we can just see how he decides to interpret the shapes in order to make the animation as smooth as possible. All right, okay, we are the head here. We will have less frames, I guess. What I'm pretty interested about are as I said, the face features, because I want to see if he animated them in their own. Because here, as you can see, the eyes are not full visible. Oh my god, wait. Okay, let's say it's here. Here there are some features that tells us more that he's like squashing on himself. Of course, we have a big eye here, and he played with the fact that he resembles the same ball that we animators use when we learn about the squash and stretch, the bouncing ball. Maybe we will talk about it more, because I'm looking forward to study the Bible of animators here in the channel with you, and reading it together, and apply in the same time the thing we read animating. which is the Illusion of Life book that I have there by Richard Williams. It's like considered the Bible, the main source of material which works for every kind of because at the end it explains all the animation principles which work for every kind of animation, from 2D traditional on paper animation to 3D with already made puppies animation. And you might think, well, that is different, but no, because the fact that you have to work on the timing, the charts, to work with breakdown poses and everything to make it as smooth as possible. That is the basic theory about animation in general. So the book tells us and teaches us about that actually. So let's make these two just to see how it changes. So we have the 52. This is the 52. And let's see. So 52, we can from here delete the next, and but now we have the 41, 52. Super. Now, as we can see, one of the things that it's really hard to understand, it's how to impose this timeline. Because one question I would ask Andrew is how you decide that the end pose of this movement is going to be at frame 52. Why? Because you don't really know until the end. Now it's like okay, what I do normally, it's kind of experimenting, where you do the other pose, the end pose, and then you think about, okay, here from here might be that we need thought frames, and then you add them from the first the point where we start, which here is 41, and then we say like, okay, we need from 41 to 52 11 frames. Okay, but that's the question I would ask him or any professional animator, because I never really got it why and how you decide how many frames you will use from one point to another. Because if I think about it, it's like, okay, I do the poses and I don't put frames between the two, but I think of course that we will add a breakdown in the middle. So let's say I do the poses 41 and 52, but I don't know that my second frame is 52, but I draw it and then I think, okay, but I wanna do a slow down at the end, so my breakdown is going to be, it's going to be more closer to the second. So we are in the middle and we put 47, but as you can see in the timeline, it's closer to 52, right? So it means that if we go to 46, our pose is going to be closer to the end than the beginning, and it actually is like that. Anyway, this would be a nice question to ask him, and maybe one day, hopefully, my idea is also to try and interview them, some of them that maybe we will get to know when somebody sees the way I make these videos, analyzing the animation. Maybe they would enjoy to tell their own experience. So we have 41, 52. As you can see in the timeline, we have to do 47. Let's go to 47. And as you can see, okay, the timelines, the frames are pretty well done. And what I want to see is how the different elements change from the frame before to the frame next. So as you can see, the end doesn't move that much, but a finger comes out. I love how it's almost really fast the way it comes out, but it works as when you see it. Only here there is a big a small movement of the finger, but then boom, comes out totally just in one frame. And for the rest, the head is like all the body doesn't move that much actually. It's almost like it's intercalated in the middle, because there is more emphasis on what he's saying actually than how his body is working. And fun enough to see, to make it more real, he works on the eye movement. As you can see, there is a big change in the pupils here in this frame. So let's draw this frame and let's see how we'll work with the timeline. Let's do it really fast. Okay, the hand still is in the middle. Here, these two, let's take it better. If we don't, it's going to, we will have a bad result at the end. So here this big close, here shoulder, here, and here it's not really clear, the hair. It's really interesting to see also how some of the elements of the character that cannot deform, like the head, help give a sense of reality too, because it's like when something is moving but it doesn't deform, when the rest of the body moves and deforms himself, gives even more a sense of reality. It's like when you add many elements which work and move differently, all together it's like it tricks more the mind of the viewer. To me, this is like incredibly interesting about animation. So we have the frame here. Let's close this one too. Okay. Interesting also to see maybe how it works, this part. And let's see. Now we are here. This is frame 47. Okay. Let's take off our reference. These two. Let's wait. Actually, the reference is the other one now. Is this one. what I want to do now is here we have frame 43, so let's make like this 46, so that we can see all the frames, all the key poses and the breakdown frame. And as we can see, okay, if we are here, actually I want to add this element so that we animate it. It works when we see it moving. So we are here. Something moves more, like the shoulder close themselves a bit more, like helping the fact that he is reaching this end pose. The eyes move. As you can see, we can also do the arc thing. So arc here of the head. Arc here. And if we see the arcs, as you can see, is almost at the end with the breakdown pose. If we do the shoulder, same thing. Here maybe it's a bit too much exaggerated, but anyway, the second is closer to the end. And actually the elements that give reality, because everything here is lower, it gets to the second position pretty slow. The only things, the three things that are moving is his face, feature face. Why? Because he is talking. The eyes, which in one frame they change, and in the end the finger. That's it. So let's keep going. We are 47 here. Let's see the timeline. Let's not this. Okay. No. Okay, we are here now. We did 47 too. And now we can see how he decided to work. As we can see, we have two frames. The bigger number here, the 44, means that it's going to be drawn before the last, which is 42, I guess. Okay, maybe in the middle between 41 and 44. 42 maybe. Okay, the same here. 48, and then here we have a really another frame here between 48 and 52. So now we can do 44. Let's see if it works. Yep, 44. It means that let's see if we open the onion skin. As you can see, it's for some things. Let's work having the onion skin turned on when we draw our character. So I think it's going to be really interesting because some part of him, look, head closer to the green, it means closer to the second, to the last frame. Same for the head, yeah, here, here. Yep, closer. To the end one. Okay. Here, for example, the eyes. 1 second, I just turn off 1 second this. Let's see. Eyes, here the pupils. Let's see. Closer to the green one. But as you can see, the pupils are still looking the same way. The nose closer to the green one. Yep. Well, the mouth moving as completely different because of course he is talking. So as we were talking about, this is success, a different timeline and everything because the mouth moves and differently because he is talking. So, but anyway, let's see the features face. Okay, anyway, here we can see it's really close to the green one at the hand. And the ear too. Now, what I was looking, look at the clothes and the body actually is closer to the red one, to the frame before. That's why I was thinking about doing this thing, working with the onion skin turned on, so that you can see how the intercalation can be more like here the air with the green one, it's almost in the same place. Let's see. I want to see something. Let's. This is even, this line here goes, it's not in the middle, intercalated actually. Super interesting. This is a way to see the freedom of the animator, to make it like his own. Here we have the face. Let's see with the onion skin turned on. As you can see, it's not even in the middle. It's like it goes in his way. Let's keep going without the onion skin, and then we check with the onion skin how different it is. So here the hair, here the costume. Okay, the hand. Still the second finger doesn't come out here. It will come out only at the last frame. Another thing that I would be really curious about is to know how much time did he spend working on this animation alone. the full animation, I mean, the full, which is like 5 seconds, I don't know. But anyway, I would love to know that. I'm working on saving some material to work on here, and I've seen this video of Glen Keane working on a scene of Aladdin. Maybe we will talk about it, and it's like some seconds, but it took him a month to work on it. Imagine. So anyway, when you feel like you're not good enough, you have to think that you have to put the time on. But what it interests me even more is, of course, the fact that you are working on a production. So what I mean by that is, okay, you need 1 month to work on a scene of Aladdin if you are Glen King, but you have a month to work on a scene like that. Actually, this is what interests me, because I didn't work in the industry of a big project as I would love to, but for now it would be enough to understand how the schedules work too, because of course, okay, I have this scene, I have to animate this character, but seeking the perfect way to animate him might take a lot of time. That would be really interesting too. Now, okay, we have frame 44. I was looking to see how different is from the draw in the onion skin. As you can see, the arm is pretty much in the middle, maybe it's favoriting a bit the red one. Some of it yes, some of that no, because this finger is closer to the red, but the rest of the hand maybe is in the middle of, or favoriting the green, maybe the middle much so. So hairs, some it's off, and that is nice, because then we will intercalate more, as you can see in the timeline, and it will give even more a sense of reality in the movement. Now turn off the onion skin. Let's go back in our timeline. Yep. So 41, we did 44, 46, 49. Now we should do 42. And let's see if it works here, watching this. Yep. Actually, if we want to see how here in the timeline in Harmony it's working, we have only one frame. So actually this is frame 43, and we don't really see here, but it might be a 43. Let's do it 43. So but this is another question I will ask him. Okay, if we intercalate in the middle, why you decide to do 43 and make it in one frame and not in two? Why don't do the thing here? Maybe he did hit here, but the way my program processes it, it makes it here. But you know what? No, it has to be here actually. Let's see. Anyway, this is our frame 43. Yeah. Here it's going to be like really in the middle, because it's really close from one post to another. Even though maybe it, as you can see, the head, for example, it's closer to the hand. Let's try. Okay, let's intercalate it here without our reference, and then we can see the mistakes that we did. But let's say we want to make it smoother. So let's say that we favorite the second frame more than the first. So we go closer to the green one. Yep, here. The head closer to the green one. The eyes in the middle. The mouth we don't know because we don't know what he's saying, but actually we might try, why not? Let's say here, or let's say, yeah, because it's favoriting the hand, as we can see, as we said, and let's say it's here, for example. Let's see. Just to have a spoiler. Yeah, almost. No? Yeah, he favorited a bit more here animation, and it's actually it's more appealing. Yep. So let's keep intercalating in the middle. So we have here, so we here, and let's say here it works. Let's see. Let's see how we did it. Completely wrong. Then we can see why. Okay, no, in the reality only this one, because this is pretty close and this too. But it was strange, the effect in the end, so this, I didn't know how to make it. Let's make it here and here, that's it. And here to a bit more open. This of course is going to be influenced by the what is saying, no? Let's keep even the head is more closer to the hand. Let's see, and put another. It's not much difference, but why not? Let's point it out. So here, let's take off the reference and let's keep intercalating. Now, yep. The ear closer to the end frame. Here is pretty close. Closer to the green. Here too. I never understood how I always worked like in a pretty clean way of drawing. I never understood how, and actually we talked about Glenkin, how he worked so rough. One of my theories is that of course he was doing the keyframes, so let's do it, let's make them rough, but anyway I would have a lot of question, like from a technical point of view for him, because yeah, you do rough, but then when you decide where to put the keyframes in the timeline, and then you have something so rough, how you actually work on the details, for example. It's pretty hard for me to try understand how he does that, but I would love, for example, to analyze, like I'm doing here, some of his animations. One I would really love to work on is the scene of the transformation of the beast in the Beauty and the Beast, which is a masterpiece in every aspect. It's so fucking great to see the pencil test and how it actually turned on, that it's like a meme. The fact that it's the work he did on that, it was ruined by the cleanup and coloring. I don't think that, but the fact that the pencil test is so amazing to watch. It's it was like impossible not to ruin it in every way. But the fun part is that it's actually really rough too. Say here we take a finger. It's really rough too, but anyway, the sense I would have loved to be there with him and watch him working. Like, I don't know how much time he spent on that, but I would actually really genuinely stay with him all the time to see how he did it. Even 3 months, 6, 8, 10, 12 hours a day, I don't know, but would be every second would be worth. Some you can see some of his animations doing maybe like flipping the pages, but anyway, I will look for trying and analyze him too. So here we have the animation. I want to see the differences between my intercalation and the actual frame by Andrew. Okay, we can see that not so bad. Maybe here it's not so close. I didn't do this too. Here maybe it can be more smooth here. Here too. The air here are a bit more visible. Here is smoother. For the rest it's pretty close. This, it's better the way he did it. Here I missed this one. These two actually, because it's not in the middle. Still working on arcs. The air too, the ear. Yeah, well, here too, maybe a bit, but it's fine. Okay. Well, the lexion here is exaggerated more. Even more. Now we can turn off our reference and see that yep. Okay, of course now here it's missing something. Now let's go back to our timeline. We did 43.2. Actually, we need now 48, and then here in the middle another frame. That we will understand together what number is here, because see, it should be in the middle, something like 50. Let's see. So now we have to do 48. 48. As you can see, everything is in order for now. Except for this 48. Exactly. Perfect. 48 intercalating. And there is the last then. Now 48. Now I will draw the frame and see the differences that he decided. See how he deleted here part of the finger? It was a correction actually. Pretty interesting. If we do the onion skin, as you can see, I think it's more interesting to watch it this way, because we can turn it off sometimes, but the face of course is going on its own. But what it interests me is that we are not intercalating in the middle. It's always like is going a bit more outside the lines and not in the middle. Here yes, here not. And this is the effect that we get. Let's see. Anyway, interesting. Let's see here if I do the arm. Let's see how it changes a bit, just because I'm curious. Here it added also this line that we don't have later on in the drawing. Actually yes, but I didn't draw it. So it's here, and these two, it might be helpful to see. Yeah, well actually you have to draw everything every time, because if not it's going to be harder to understand. Here, let's see, I want to see, yeah, in the middle, here is in the middle. Here, well, it's closer to this one. The end, we will see it later, because I want to see, here we have the finger, which is actually even a bit strange. Everything here is a bit more rough than the rest. Here we have the thumb. Okay, here I want to see. Let's do it well enough to see if we intercalate in the middle or not. Actually no. Okay. Let me know, guys, if you want to know more about the way I use harmony, like how I do this, how I do this and come back, are all shortcuts with anyway, I will also do something like a tutorial, because one way is to watch a specific tutorial, and one other maybe it's to know how I do this while I work. Look at interesting is the fact that the hair are here. I see the effect is done. So frame before. And then it gets closer down. Well, down also because the face is really changing. Look at this. It has to be to influence also the hair and some of the other body features. The interesting part is this, because he didn't do everything, but look how much it changes. The face is totally out. It's almost like, of course, he drew the face in order to then make the body a bit influenced by the big change that we have in the shape of the head. Super interesting, this part. So same here. It's more rough, this frame, as you can see. Okay, we are almost there. We missed this. I want to see how kind of changes. Actually, part of that is in the middle. Part of that is actually, well, favoring the fact that it goes a bit down with the head. Let's see. Take off the reference. Yep. We need to do the last frame, which is this one. Let's see how it changes. Well, it's an intercalation between makes the movement a bit smoother, so that it comes to the end pose a bit more slower, understandably so. I don't like this. Maybe we have to do this, something like this. Well, it's fine enough for now. Okay. So we are here. I want to see how much does it go in the middle. Not a lot, actually. Some parts yes, some parts no. Well, I guess that's why the traditional animation looks so incredibly magic when you see it. There is a lot of human elements on it. Look at this. Maybe the head was this way, actually. Yep, maybe yes. Well, normally you have also a character exploration that tells you how the different elements of the character are structured, how the head works and everything. We didn't have that anyway. It's fun enough. Let's see that we are working on the rough animation. Then somebody else would make the tie down and then clean up it. So well enough. Love how he did the mouth. Here the close. Let's see the hand, if we draw it. Actually, I think I will start with the reading of the Illusion of Life, because I'm really looking forward to understand how you decide how your timeline works. In terms of as I said before, the way you decide where to put your keyframes, your everything, because in a simple way you get it actually, okay, I have if you see a tutorial, for example, you have two key poses, and then you have to break down the middle, then you see, okay, you want to slow it in the beginning a bit to make it more real, then you slow out in the end, but it's not enough. That's why I'm trying to understand it from these professional animations, how it's done, because it's if you stay there and you think of that in that way, it's not going to be so great as the way they are using to make those type of animations. So maybe I will do that, because I've also seen some part of the book where they talk exactly about this, so why not? And I would love that also. There is something on already on YouTube about Illusion of Life and everything, but maybe the fact that I will read it with you guys and actually putting in the work actually Richard Williams is telling us, maybe something interesting. But at the end of the day, it's also a way for me to actually put myself into it and read it I'm studying, because if not, I'm not doing that. Maybe it's part of my character, I think. So let's see. Let's take off this. Let's take off. I was looking forward to watch the differences in this last frame when he intercalated it. Let's see. Of course, the face. No, okay, the face is in the middle. Everything. I loved, as I said, the way he decided to draw the mouth here, pretty much in the middle. Well, one rule that okay, here we missed the thumb. Here too. This was the. We can take this off. Okay. Not in the middle. Not in the middle. Yep. Not in the middle. Let's say it's here, for example. Then of course you have to flip it to see if it works. The end is super strange. I think because this, it's already coming out. Anyway, this is the hand of it. Let's take off all the references we had. and I want actually to render it, and let's see how it works. Start from 26, and then I think we could be pretty much satisfied with this particular scene. Okay, I'm waiting to open it, and this is the end result. Okay, good enough. Of course we can see also the error we made. No, I can't. Or we can do this. Well, this is the animation we analyzed. I think for this is enough. I won't keep going on working on this animation. I think I will decide and find another. We can go on. I re-show you how the animation was. Well, I think we did pretty much a good work. Of course, we learned something, and as you can see, there is much more on it. We can like analyze it a bit more, going through the animation. Okay, we were here. Then, as you can see, the end still comes out. The eyes changed more. Look. Watch hand and head arcs. Of course. Look how fast the end changes its position. Same with the head. Here there is like a moving and is holding the movement and then like exploding. Here a slow out. No, you can stay here and work on this for I don't know how much more time, a lot actually. Just to see and reproduce it is, look at how amazing is the acting here. Holding, and then exploding. Holding the movement here. And then there is it's almost like a follow through, so that the head is already here and then it stays here, but the rest of the body comes with the end, and here slows. Amazing. It's crazy to see animation. For me, it's like the most incredible form of art of everything. That's why I'm deciding to dedicate my life too on this. But it's really incredible. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it was helpful for somebody. Of course it was for me, and I will keep work on analyzing the animations and bring here also my own animations and see how we can add some of the things we learn here to improve our animations, and maybe one day reaching a level of skill that makes us capable of doing something like this so incredible. So I wanna still thank Andrew Chesworth for his animation. I really enjoyed analyzing it. So here we have his Instagram if you wanna check him out. He's a great artist, as you can see. And that's it for this video, guys. Hope you like it. See you in the next one.